Welcome back. Right now, here at Park City Television, we are joined by author Elizabeth Topp. She was a personal assistant to the richest philanthropist across our country, and she is spilling all those details in a book. Elizabeth, thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Christine. It's great to be here.
Tell me a little bit about your experience and why you decided to write a book about it.
Well, I had been doing this work for so long, and I was one of those people where even my friends and family, my own parents, they had no idea what I was doing at work, which wouldn't have been a problem, except the things that happen at work are often hilarious, occasionally glamorous, and sometimes just a crazy adventure.
So, Perfectly Impossible is the title of the book. It's a work of fiction, correct? Based on some of your experiences in the past.
Yes, Perfectly Impossible is a work of fiction. However, I can share that I still do this work 3 days a week. You know, like so many women, it's hard to wear so many hats and be an assistant and a writer and a mom. So that's something that my protagonist is juggling as well, is doing everything. So I'm still in this job, so I can't blab too much, but I will say that I spoke to our employer's estate manager yesterday and told him I would be speaking with you today about it. And he said, just tell her it's so real, it's freaking unbelievable.
Intriguing. I'm looking forward to reading it. Tell me a little bit more about your experiences as a personal assistant and what made you decide to start this as a career.
Well, I was actually pursuing a career in finance, and I was finding that the problem with that job is that it's exactly the same every day. And a friend of mine was leaving her post with a comedian and said, would you like to try this? And I found out right away that the thing about being a private assistant is that the jobs are as varied as the employers and the days are as varied from one another. So every day I go to work, I don't know what I'm going to need to learn, what problems I'm going to have to solve, and who am I going to have to enlist to help me solve them.
You know, when I think of a private personal assistant, especially to someone who's very successful and very wealthy, I think everything I know is based on films and books. I picture picking up coffee and getting dry cleaning, but I have a feeling it's a lot more than that.
Well, some of the tasks that have come through over the years include everything from finding a place to gift wrap a BMW on a Sunday. I knew someone whose job was to figure out how to get her employer's stalker deported. I've had to find museum quality art restorers for shattered Tang Dynasty terracotta horses. And when I've worked for entertainers, sometimes you're the first person they turn to with their new material. So you sort of have to be able to do it all, be unflappable, and of course, totally discreet.
Have the ability to do just about anything in a way that makes sense, organized. It really takes a special person to be able to do that with a very specific skill set. Are there any real life experiences that you can tell us about that made their way into the book?
Well, I can say that all the mechanics of New York City philanthropy and big events and how all of that works to fund our great arts institutions, all of that is totally true to life. But what gives the book its heart and its warmth and its humor are the characters. Almost all of whom I have come across. I have worked with really impossible employers' children. I have worked with diva housekeepers. And of course, the chefs are always full of personality. So it's sort of like a modern day, real life Downton Abbey on Park Avenue.
And did you mention that you are still working as a personal assistant? You're also writing. What's next for you?
Oh, well, of course, I would love to write another novel, perhaps a sequel or something different. And, you can always keep up with me at my website, liztopp.com, Insta, Twitter, @LizTopp, @LizToppNYC. And, we'll see.
Absolutely. And when you look at the book, the fictionalized version of experiences that you have had mostly, is there a favorite moment or one part that you're just very excited for readers to read?
Well, for me, what's such a rich part of my life and that made its way pretty much directly into the book is that I'm very fortunate and that I get to work with a dear friend. So I know, a lot of books with female protagonists revolve around a romance. I don't want to be too much of a spoiler, but what is so fantastic about this book is how these two women work together in the most extraordinary situations. They always have each other's back, and they always find the humor in what could be very stressful or just incredibly heightened scenes. The important thing is to always laugh.
Absolutely. And Elizabeth, I'm also curious about your experience as an author releasing a book during this unique time. What's that been like?
Well, Christine, it's been really, on the one hand, excellent in that I feel like I'm bringing something to, Perfectly Impossible is a great way to take a break from the news. Perfectly Impossible, it's fun, it's funny, it's warm, it's feel good, nothing bad's gonna happen. And so in that way, I feel like a lot of the feedback that I've been getting is just like, this is exactly what I needed right now. Of course, I would love to be with you in the studio right now. I would love to be able to be out on the road signing copies of this book and talking in person to people about it. So that's the downside.
And Perfectly Impossible, it's out there. It's available everywhere that books are sold.
Yes, especially Amazon, where this morning it had over 6,100 reviews.
That's exciting. Well, Elizabeth, congratulations. I honestly cannot wait to read Perfectly Impossible. We're so thankful that you took the time to join us today. Yes, we wish you were in studio as well, but it's been really fun to connect with you virtually.
Thank you so much, Christine. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Elizabeth is joining us from New York City, and once again, her book is Perfectly Impossible by Elizabeth Topp. We'll be back with more right after this.